appearance on The Love Connection way back from 1987. I did post all three of them individually on the 30-year anniversary in March of 2017, but I took them down. But I decided now to put them all up. I have inherited a lot of new Facebook friends since the South Philly nickname videos I did in December of 17. But I figure I want to tell the backstory of how it all happened. Okay, so it goes like this. I'll try to make this quick as I can, but it's interesting. When I first moved out to Southern California in November of 1986, staying with a buddy, he lived right up the Hollywood Hills, La Brea and Hillside, right, very close to the main Chinese theater. And we went there one day to see the fingerprints and the footprints. And they have some people working on the shows and game shows. And the all-new dating game was just starting. And guy came up to me, recruiting me to appear on the all-new dating game. My buddy I was staying with, Hugh Grew, great guy, convinced me to do it. I go do it. I audition. They call me in. Girl picks me. I was one of the 3 bachelors. We go to London, England, with a chaperone and another couple, and their chaperone later in 1987, 6-7 months later. It was a nightmare. She was a nightmare. I tell that story if you want to scroll down on my Facebook page on the March 1st, 2017 post. I tell that story. So now I'm living there in Hollywood, and my next door neighbor happens to be a friend of mine still today, and his name is Steve Schroyer. He also happens to be the father of Logan Schroyer, who is plays the younger version of the lead character on the new hit series show This Is Us, Logan Schroyer. Well, anyway, Steve says to me, he dares me to go on The Love Connection. Now, I've been on the dating game 6 months prior. I know my chances are good to get on that show, but he dares me, but I really want him to go on it. So I calls bluff, and I go on it. And when you go to a Love Connection audition, you fill out, it's like a written interview. You fill out all about dating and girls and stuff like that. And then after you do that, they sit you in a room with a video camera, just like I'm doing, and they interview you all about dating and, the women in your life and your experiences and dates and all that stuff. And that's how they decide they're going to choose the person the picker or the pickee. So they're going to choose somebody who's going to sit next to Chuck, or you're going to be up there and you're just hope somebody's going to pick you. Well, and the key is you got to have personality. They're not going to pick somebody to sit next to Chuck who's got a personality of a marble. So after I did my audition, they call me in and they match me up. And what they do is they give you the 3 girls they match you up with their written interview. And I'm looking at her. It's a blind date basically, right? I'm like, show me the tape. So I'm not interested, but I read it, but it's not telling me nothing. I want to see what the girls look like. I want to see who I'm attracted to. So they sit you in a room and they let you watch their interview, okay, that they did. Everybody does one. So I watch. Now, they hooked me up with 2 Southern California girls, and as you will see, the girl Patricia, what's her name, I chose her because she's from West Philly. I guess I wasn't attracted, I guess, as much to the Southern California girls. And I go as Patricia, and it's a nightmare. And as you'll see, I get Chuck Willery, who was cool. And we had a little bromance, I guess. I had him in the palm of my hands. He had my back, as you will see. And you got to watch these episodes in order. Okay, it's the only way you'll understand. Watch them in order. So anyway, what happens is, it was a nightmare. It was not a Love Connection. And now with they let the audience choose who they think would be good for you if you want to go out on a second date. And they do. As you'll see, they'll choose Cindy. And now the audience is cheering me on to go out with her. Chuck Woolery is trying to persuade me to go out. I really don't want to do it. I was on the dating game. I already want to look at, I don't want to go on the dating show again. So I say yeah on air. And after the show, my producer grabs me and I say his name is John. I will never forget him. I said, John, do I really got to go out with Cindy? And he says, Al, look, we don't hold it to you, but it'd be nice if you come back. You said yeah on there. We'd love to have you come back. Yeah, of course you'd love to have me come back. So I'm like, can I think about it over the weekend? He goes, yeah, think about it over the weekend, and I'll call you Monday morning. So all weekend I'm thinking of a plan, and I come up with a plan. And I say to myself, you know what? I'm going to go out with Cindy, but if it's not a good date, no way in hell am I going back to the studio to tape the TV taping of it. I'm not going on national TV and have another terrible, bad date. So that was my plan. But I also had another plan. So he calls me up Monday morning, John. He goes, yo, Al, so what you think? I said, you know what, John, I'll go out with Cindy. He goes, oh, that's great. We're really looking forward for you to come back. And Eric Lieber would really love for you to come back, too. Eric Lieber was the executive producer. I said, John, but listen, I want to wear what I want to wear. And he says, what do you mean, Al? And as you all see on the Love Connection, you wear a jacket, slacks, shoes, tie, jacket, suit, whatever. There's a dress protocol, okay? And I said, I just want to wear what I want to wear. I want to be me. I'm going to be comfortable. And he goes, well, hold on. I'm on hold for 10 minutes, and I know exactly what he's doing. He's going to go talk to Eric Lieber and tell him. I know it. But I'm holding my ground. If he comes back and tells me, no, Al, you got to wear stuff, I ain't going on. They know I ain't doing it. So I got them. I'm holding them hostage. So he comes back, John. He says, Al, I talked to Eric. He says, he's trusting you. You're going to look nice. I said, John, I'm going to look beautiful. As you see in the date with Cindy, and you can punch up on YouTube all the ones you want. There's plenty of them. Nobody in the history of the Love Connection has ever showed up. Guess jeans, sneakers, a summer top, no tie. Forget about it. Nobody. I got to wear what I want to wear. I came out like the Fonz without the leather jacket, and it was beautiful. I felt comfortable. So now, what's the other point I wanted to say? Okay, so real quick, later that year, Phil Donahue had Bert Convey, Chuck Woolery, and Alex Trebek on his show promoting their game shows. And Chuck Woolery took along a clip of my terrible date, my most rememberable. It's the most Love Connection. My date is the most memorable worst date ever. I couldn't go anywhere from 1987 to 1992. That bad date must have reran 50, 60 times. I couldn't go nowhere in LA or Vegas without being recognized. Crazy, just crazy. I had one kid see me at Caesar's Palace in Vegas, run up to me. You're Al from the Love Connection. Me and my boys in the frat house, we watch every Friday night. She deserved what you gave to her. He goes, can I take a picture with her? With you? I go, yeah, you take a picture with me. He said, after we take the picture, he goes, Al, you do me a favor? I go, what's that? He says, can you come back here tomorrow and I'm going to get it developed? Can you autograph it to the guys at the frat house? I'm like, okay. So it was just crazy, man, crazy. So now, 14 years later, I used to do my walking down Manhattan Beach to Strand. And I got my Walkman on, and every once in a while there'd be auditions held on the beach. For some reason, there's a makeshift tent on the sand, and I had to use the men's room. And I got my headphones on, I got my head down. As I go into the bathroom, I bump into somebody, I look up, the guy's tall, I look up, it's Chuck Woolery. Without a beat, when I look up, he says to me, how you doing, Al? I was blown away. I said, Chuck, really, you remember me? His words were, "How can I forget you?" My God. So, Chuck Willery, true patriot too. Looking good, buddy. I appreciate you having my back too on the show. Anyway, so there it is. Watch the shows in order, and you'll see, and enjoy. It was a crazy time in my 20s, and so there you have it. All right, guys. Again, have a blessed Thanksgiving, and people who are going through a hard time during this holiday season, hang in there. Keep the faith. Keep the faith and look up.